All right, guys. So the plan is that these will sit. These are going to be shorter, of course, but these are going to sit inside. And then when we get to the show, flip them down. So we're going to have to notch these bottoms out a little bit, shorten these things up a wee bit, and we'll go from there. The top of the rail is supposed to be 40 inches from the ground. So these are 48, so they're going to be able to get cut down quite a bit. All right, so I cut this piece of scrap one down to 40 inches. So it gives me the room to do what I got to do over here. But if I do like this, on the side, that gives me a little more surface. Over here gives me, we're going to go on the side. That's what we're going to do. That made it easy. Putting it on the side, I get a little more surface. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, I'm going to put a little glue on here, and then I'm going to take my staple gun, and we're going to staple. All right, we're going to glue it. Then we're going to staple it. And later on, I'll make a decision if I'm going to actually put screws in it. I don't know. I might not. Might get a little crazy and paint this up and do some cosmetic stuff to it to make it look like iron. I doubt it. Be a great idea though, wouldn't it? So the only thing I got to figure out is how I'm gonna lap these two in together. I do one that far off this side, the other one twice as far off that side, and then they'll come down. But it doesn't really matter because this part's going to be sticking up anyway. All right. Even though it's a cut on a panel saw, sometimes you get a wave in it. Just want to make sure I'm good. Let me get some air. This is Type Bond 2. Oh, it's Type Bond 1. We're going to go with the Type Bond 2. It's a little bit stronger, I think. I really don't know. But I got a ton of this stuff. Water resistant. When I win a chicken dinner. Since this is kind of end grain here, I want to make sure I got a good amount on here because it's going to soak in. And I got a pretty decent amount on here. A couple little dry spots. I want to make sure I got make sure I don't have too. I'll make sure I don't get any dry spots. I really want this to pull in together. That's what I like about the Type Bond. Kind of sets up, pulls in together. Oh, there we go. There's my dirty rag. My glue rag. Yeah, so that's looking pretty good. What we're going to do, I'm going to wipe this down, get as much of this off as possible. And so what we're going to do is we're going to turn all of that into that. Just like that. Come on, guys. Look at that. 4 of them done. So these are going to dry. And I just got to basically figure out what I want to do. I want to offset these. I've offset them. Do this inside going that way. This inside going that way. Alright, so we're going to let these dry. And we got a little time. We're not in a rush to do this. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm going to have this thing done relatively quick. So, yeah. I think we're gonna flip this over and we're gonna start marking it out. All right, guys. Be right back. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the N scale book out and we're going to start taking notes. We're going to start measuring this out. I'm going to mark down the sides. I'm going to put tape on the side, mark the center line of each rail, and then I'm going to take a straight edge, that bad boy, and yeah, and we're going to lay it in. And I did it on the Hot Tracks module. I started on this back rail here, and I got on the center line, and I laid in the one side of the cork. And then we came in again, center line, next one, laid in one side of the cork, worked our way out to the end, and that worked out beautifully. Because once you got one side perfectly straight, the next side's got no other place to go but perfectly straight. You could actually just lay in one strip right down the middle and do it too. The Hot Tracks, trying to make it look like there is a valley between, but it's not coming out that great. So it looks presentable, but it doesn't look perfect. All right, so somehow on the back, the little boat in the middle, it's 24, 24, 24, 24, 23, and a smidge. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a smidge short of 24 on that. So that's what we're going to do. It was recommended to me to take a flat edge, something flat, put it across here, and measure off of that. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So let me get the book out, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. So here we got the Ntrak module manual, and let's find the page. All right, here we go. So if you were going to build something, would you measure the shortest distance or the longest distance? Yeah, okay. So this is measured off the back. What we got is the blue line is 14, 18 and a half, and 20. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start marking them out, laying them out. We're going to double check, triple check. We're going to go checking crazy on these things. And then we are going to lay in the, where is this? The green line. And the green line, called the mountain division, and that runs 3 1/8 inch above the surface, which they don't do. It's level on the surface. 4 inches from the back. Okay, let's go from there. Just in case you're wondering, right over here is the track plan that we're going with. That is the 3rd or 4th rendition. That's the final rendition. I'm done with it. All right, so we're going to have a red, yellow, and blue line, and then additional switching track on there, as you see, with the runaround is going to be on the main line. Why? Because in reality, that's the way they do it. We're not doing any crossovers on the layout. They already have those. So let me open up this page and we'll go on from there. All right, guys, so I'm going to run tape along both sides. And that's going to give me the measurements for the middle. These tracks are going to go end to end. And when they're done and they're glued in place and everything is hunky-dory and righty-tighty and lefty-loosey and squared away, the day that this thing gets certified, it's going to be certified and it's going to be cut to the proper length at certification. It's that simple. That's what I'm doing. So here we go. Let's tape it up. Basically what we're going to do, this is the front, this is the back. We're going to start laying it out. I'm doing it this way because it makes it a little bit easier for me to see it. Makes it a little bit easier for you to see it. It's awkward, but get over it. Now we're going to try something else. Where is it? Where was the piece I'm looking for? I had a nice piece. Where did it go? At the bottom for the ocean. Check that one. This one should be 4, 5.5, 7. All right. Those are perfectly spaced out. That's enough to do it right there. All right, boys and girls. Flip it around. 4 inches. 4 inches, 17, 18 and a half, 20. This side's done. It ain't working? It ain't working. All right. Just getting something inconsistent. It's probably just me. So, tape is cheap, track is not. We're all marked in there. All right, so that's what we got going on now. And let's see what's going to happen. All right, so we're all marked up and pretty much ready to go. So what I'm going to do here, I got to find 2 of my clamps, and then we'll start setting up to start laying in the Cork roadbed. I should have enough. That's what I said. I mean, I should have enough to do the main line, the 2 main line, the 3 main lines. I'm going to lay the 3 front tracks in first. This back track is going to get laid last, or this back track is going to get laid separately, because I got to actually figure out its location. So that's just a little more math later on. So if you guys never worked with Cork roadbed before, it's comes pre-cut. Supposedly there's an angle cut in there. In HO, it's definitely obvious. End scale, it can be a little not so obvious. But what you get when you do this is you get a good side. They're both good. just a clean side and not so clean side. So when you pull it apart, you want to look at it because one side's a little cleaner than the other. So what you want to do, I see that clean side for the front. Well, apparently with this stuff, there ain't no clean side. All right, so we're just gonna go with it. I use a lot of the Midwest stuff. This was just I got this in a deal off Marketplace, and it is what it is. With this Cork came push pins, which is awesome because that's what we're going to use. So what we're going to do, once again, we're going to use the old type bond. People, you can do this down with Elmer's glue. Whatever you do, don't use the polyurethane Gorilla stuff, because that's expanding stuff. Is not what you want to use for doing any of this, because it will push it up. You'll have waves in it. You're probably going to have waves in it anyway. But it is what it is. I've seen, depending if I can find it somewhere, guys literally take a 4-foot flat block of wood with some sandpaper and just run it down the top of their roadbed, and it kind of makes it all nice and nice. The struggle is real, my friends. I'm going every 2 inches because I'm a maniac, and I got a ton of these things, so. So, what I'm going to do, just to keep track of it, is this is the yellow piece, held in with the yellow pins. At the bottom for the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry up for about 20-30 minutes. I'm going to take a break, get something to drink, finish making dinner for my beautiful wife and my loving family. So my daughter told me if I wear the choo-choo hat, she'll watch my whole video. So stay tuned for the choo-choo hat, because I'm going to make her watch a whole video. So, all right, thanks, guys. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, so we're back. We're going to lay this side. We're going to lay this one over here. I staggered it for a reason, because I kind of want to have them lining up. The same thing I'm going to do when I stagger all this other stuff. I actually got plenty, because I forgot. What I was going to do was I was going to put the main lines up on the road bed, and then the switch is going to come down to this bed. I don't know why I want to do it, but that's the way I'm doing it. I want to do it because that's more prototypical, I guess. This is far from prototypical, but it's kind of the look I want it to have. I want the height difference in there. So that's what we're going to do. Sometimes a lot is a little and a little is a lot. So I want this to really stick, so I'm going to put a little heavy on here. Probably going to add a little bit to the other end too. Alright, we'll let that sit up, and then we'll come back probably about an hour, and we'll give that a shot. Alright guys, so we're back. I finished up the 3 front tracks. They're in place. And I'm just going to throw this back track on, and then I'll be done for the night. And we'll get back on this tomorrow morning, and we'll lay in the other pieces of foam. Now, mind you, one of these sides is thinner than the other, so I'm lining it up kind of center. Doesn't matter if this foam is center. The track has to be center. I'm just using these lines just to get as close as possible. Maybe tomorrow we'll start laying in this. When we get this all laid in, we get all the foam laid in. Maybe we'll lay some track out and see what we got to do over here. And not gonna put it down. We're just gonna lay it out. See what we got. As you've seen in the other video, if you watched it or you're just joining me now, I use Alex silicone to glue my tracks down. I like it a lot better. I was a little iffy on it when I saw people doing it. I didn't think it was going to be a good idea, but at Hot Tracks has been glued down for almost 9 months. I haven't had any problems, and once you ballast it, you're pretty much it's permanent. You're locked in. If the track did lift at all, the matte medium gets underneath there and just glues it down. And I can tell you that's a fact because I had to move some track on a layout that someone turned out they did the Alex with, and yeah, the matte medium gets under there and glues it down because it was a bitch. It might seem like a lot of pins I'm putting in here, but that'll work out tomorrow when I start laying in the other sides. All right, so that's laid in. I'll either come in, I'll see what happens. I might come down here later tonight and start throwing these in. Not really you're gonna see all that. Didn't really need to see all this, but I definitely fast forwarded through some of it. I hope you like how fast I am. I'm like lightning quick. So, but yeah, no, not really. So we'll go from there. Yeah, we'll finish laying this in, and we'll start playing with little tracks. Again, there's going to be track playing over there. I don't know, somewhere up here. I'll put the track playing again, and yeah, we'll take a look at it. All right, guys, we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. And this setup, this is all, I mean, this is solid in there. This ain't going nowhere. Now, what we can do is, since this is the long piece, I can put this long piece over here, covers the gap. For some reason, this piece is a little chunky compared to the other ones, so we're going to give this a little. And I thought about it. I have an idea on how to dress up this edge a little bit. Even though I got this lined up as close as I can, doesn't really matter where the roadbed is. It matters where the track is. So that's what we're going to worry about. All right, where did my ruler go? I just took my ruler. There we go. This is going to double as my gluing pad. So, and how many pairs of glasses do I have? I got a lot. So we're just going to glue this on. And we're going to, you know, all those extra pins that I put in. All those extra pins are going to pay off. After doing a little bit of deep diving into the issues I was having with this Cork roadbed, it was my choice of glue. Not that I chose a bad glue. I chose an excellent glue, except that it has a very quick cure time. So it was curing a little quick. So what you can do is either use the Type-On 2 or the Type-On 3. The Type-On 3, though it is a little bit more expensive than the 2 and the 1, is also thinner. So it will kind of pull into the cork and the wood. Now you're seeing why I really wasn't too concerned with having extra push pins. Push these in, push this up against this other base. This is why I did this way. If I was just laying this on a layout, I'd probably just freehand it and be done with it. But since it's the N scale rules, I just want everything to be as straight as possible. Listen, in reality, as long as I get the last 6 inches of this thing straight, the rest of this thing could be all over the road. Doesn't matter. So I have a plan on kind of reshaping the ends, the sides of this. I'm going to use a little bit of a little bit of a block. And we're going to go from there with that. I'm going to just put it on the edge. I'm not looking to get a perfect shape to it. I really don't care. The ballast will fill in any of the spots, since in reality the ballast isn't perfect anyway. You're not really going to notice it that much, but it will look good when it's done. It'll just have a little more of a shape to it. And you guys got to remember that once this all goes on and the scenery is done on this thing, if you guys watch the way I do scenery, I am not shy with the matte medium. So this thing's going to get soaked down to the core with matte medium. So any little voids or spaces in here that might not have glued down or stuck down, you're going to get pulled down with matte medium. All right, so let me set up, and we'll do this side. All right, guys, I laid this one in, and apparently something happened with the camera. It shut off. So we're going to do this orange line. We're going to get that in. Whew. That one's done. Let's move on to this blue one. All right, guys, so we're done. We got this, all this is getting glued down. This glue is going to set probably about another hour. I'll give this another hour before I pull these pins out. And that's it, my friends. I think we're going to call this episode. I know I said something about laying out track, but I think we're gonna save that for the next one. I'll have a printout of the actual track plans set up here for you guys to look at. I posted it somewhere in this video. I'll post it again. But so that's the track plan we're going with. That's the track plan I'm following. Right now I have a siding coming off of here. It's going to come down to the roadbed over here. I got an industrial switching over here. It's going to come off of this roadbed and come right down this cork and run over here. A little transition in height, added a little something to it. We're going to do parking lot, driveway areas through here. And yeah, that's going to be about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys follow this Ntrak build. I hope you N-scale guys see that I do other things besides HO. And you guys, I'm going to, I don't know if we're going to get it done this year, but I have my original O-gauge train set. I think I have both of them. I have a Spirit of 76, and I have a Lionel Pennsylvania Railroad passenger car set, steam engine set. That was my original set. I got that for my like 7th birthday. Yeah, it's old. So am I. But I digress. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button, please. It helps me out. Hit that like button. It helps me out. You don't know how much. And if you have any questions on why I did something a certain way, or I did something wrong that you think I did wrong, or I might have done wrong and I didn't notice I did wrong, put in the comments. Stay tuned. We're going to start also alongside with this build is the N-scale rotary snowplow build, the Titchy trains. You know how much I love it, the Titchy. I'm all itchy to do the Titchy. So we're going to build that too. What more can I tell you? As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.